Hello, everybody. Welcome to Live with Lee and Hayley. Hayley Harmon is, I think, trying to keep Rick Barnes from going to UCLA. I don't think that's going to work, though. I bet he goes. It's going to be fun. Yeah. So, Deidre Risdale's hanging out with us today, who we love and we're always glad to have hang out with us. Good to see you.
It's good to see you.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Just got back from spring break.
Oh, good.
Yes, took my daughter and some of her friends down to Florida. We made it all the way to Captiva Island. Ooh. Long way. Drove.
That sounds like an artificial sugar.
It pretty much was. It's very sweet. Yeah. Very sweet down there.
So you had a good time?
Had a great time. Lots of sunshine, lots of nice people. It was wonderful. Yeah. And I saw some really neat signs while we were down there on the way down and on the way back that I'd love to share some of the signs.
Well, yeah, okay, let's do this.
To tell you about what's going on. Well, first of all, we missed the Fire Ant Festival. I hate to tell you that. We missed that. That was in Ashburn, Georgia. And so sad to report that we can't tell you about the Fire Ant Festival. Unfortunately, it just didn't happen. Yeah. But I did see a sign for a low-cost, no-cost vasectomy.
You know, I don't mind spending a little extra money.
I think you should. I think you should invest in something like that. If you're going to do that, I think spend the money.
Plus, it just doesn't feel like a real impulse buy to me, you know? Like, let me get a pecan log and a vasectomy. You know?
I think you should think it through and plan. Maybe even save for that if you're going to. Also, there was a huge billboard, and it had kind of the silhouette of the lady you might see on the mud flaps of the trucks that are going by. And it said strippers as seen on Jerry Springer. Oh! Yes.
So quality is what you're getting there.
That's what I'm telling you. In Valdosta, Georgia, there's a lot happening.
And you saw all of this.
I saw all of that and more.
Interesting. So, when Hayley and I were in Nashville, we saw a homeless guy holding up a sign, and I cannot say what it said.
Okay.
But it did say, smile if you... by yourself.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
And people would smile.
Well, of course you would. And then you look guilty. I bet he had a camera, too. Trapped.
By the way, I had quite the weekend. My mother was airlifted to UK Hospital's Trauma Center. She's fine and she's home resting now. But she had a little bit of an accident. And I want to thank, if I may, the UK trauma team that took care of her. They're just a phenomenal job.
They are awesome.
So I remember, and I wish I could remember everybody's name, but Tony and Caroline and Dr. Wallace, I think it was the plastic surgeon, the orthopedic team that went in there and fixed her foot, her ankle, you know, did one of those. But the professionalism you expect, but it was just the way, the bedside manner and the way they took care of the entire family to make sure everybody was comfortable. It was just a fantastic job, and to put her back together, all the pieces into place so she can rest and convalesce.
Is she bionic now?
I think she was before.
Oh, okay.
No, I appreciate it. I want to say thanks to the UK trauma team for getting us through that Saturday night.
That's a lot. That's not how you anticipate spending a Saturday night, but thankfully we're this close to UK.
But most people's nearly 70-year-old mother doesn't ride motorcycles either.
I think there's a message in that somewhere.
Well,
I'm not
really message,
sure.
all right. Yeah. Anyway, but we're glad she's okay.
Very thankful.
All right, you ready to do some hot topics?
I'm excited. Let's go.
Here we go. Let's do it.
Hot topics.
Now, this happens ever so often in college sports, where Auburn students and fans thought they were headed to the NCAA title game and started to celebrate prematurely. Students rushed Toomer's Corner on campus to celebrate beating Virginia, but as we know, Virginia's Kyle Guy, after he missed that three-point attempt to close out the game, got fouled. Auburn was up 62-60. Students should have stayed until the end of the game because the refs whistled that foul, which it was, by the way. It was a foul. He jumped into him. You got to give the shooter space. It sent Kyle to the free throw line, and he made all three. He was money. Virginia won 63-62. Virginia and Texas Tech face off in the NCAA Men's National Championship game tonight. Did you watch any of that?
No, we were on the road for a lot of that, and so I missed the big stuff. But I'm telling you, being from Texas, all of West Texas.
Yeah, but they're going crazy, aren't they?
They're losing it. They've got their guns up. They're all excited. Those Texas Tech Red Raiders, they're ready to go. I mean, and neither has ever won a championship.
Well, you know what he's winning with? Tubby's team.
Yeah. Oh, is that what you're saying?
There's three guys left from Tubby's team. If they win a championship, I just want everybody to know you win it with Tubby's players.
So we get it by proxy? Is that what you're saying? We can still claim it?
I just want people to say that because it used to bother me when they said it about Tubby. And I want
it always.
drove me nuts.
Way to go, Tubby.
Charmin is selling what it's calling a forever roll of toilet paper. Charmin says you can go up to 1 month before you have to change. They come in a variety of sizes. Depending on your needs, you can choose between a single-user or multi-user forever roll. Single-user rolls are 850 two-ply sheets, measures 8.7 inches in diameter. A multi-user roll is 1,700 sheets, 12 inches in diameter, and weighs 2 pounds.
Let me tell you that with our spring break trip that we just took, and we had 6 girls in the house plus 3 moms. There were 9 females in that one house. We would have gone through, I can't tell you how many of those rolls. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Girls and toilet paper, the amount that you could buy 72 of those rolls and it still wouldn't cover you.
Well, in service stations and places like that, that's usually the size, but it's a very thin paper.
Yeah,
you know,
it's not quality.
Oh.
It's not quality.
Yeah, not at all. Where was I the other day? And I wanted to compliment them on their toilet paper.
I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. We haven't talked about this, Lee.
You know where it was? It was at church. I was at church. So Grace Bible Church, you got excellent toilet paper. I was there and I went, my goodness, this is quality toilet paper.
Do you think that's what they were going for?
That's an old guy conversation right there, isn't it? I just thought they spent money on this.
So proud.
Yeah. Lansing, Michigan police officer was caught under the influence of alcohol. According to Detroit's police chief, the officer was participating in training by Michigan State Police on the use of a breathalyzer. At one point, the chief says the officer volunteered for a demonstration because the officer did not have his gun on him and didn't drive to training. State police said the officer was not arrested. He told he couldn't be intoxicated in police training. You think you would know that. A different officer, still in a probationary period, was arrested last week for allegedly selling drugs. It's getting harder to find good qualified people.
That's tough. That's tough.
Look at this show.
This show
used to be Sue Wiley.
I know.
Would sit here.
And looking at, boy, how they mighty have fallen.
Yeah, it's awful.
Sad.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Beyonce documentary may be coming to Netflix. They tweeted a tease Sunday that simply said, Homecoming, with some Greek letters worked in, and the date is April 17th. The video streaming giant hasn't officially confirmed it's about Beyonce, but fans were quick to point out that the singer has a fashion collection called Homecoming, and it includes Greek letters. Many are predicting the special with a shine a light on her performances at last year's Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival.
Well, it could be about you.
Yeah.
You went to Homecoming, I assume. Didn't you go to Homecoming when you were at high school?
I believe I did. I think I did.
I bet we could find a photo.
I finally got
go
a girl
to the photo.
go.
We've got a photo of Lee. No, we really don't.
I wish we had.
That'd be great.
Yeah. You a big Beyonce fan?
I like her.
You know, I will say this.
She's very talented and beautiful.
Documentaries go, I got our buddy Drew Franklin got a sneak peek of the one about Boogie.
Oh?
DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah.
He says it is excellent. And it will change the complete narrative for those folks who watch it. Because we already love DeMarcus Cousins.
Absolutely we do.
But for those who are just casual fans and who hate on him
they're
automatically,
on the fence,
they're going to see
know.
the side that we see of Boogie, and they're going to love it. And it's tough to watch him because he really didn't want to leave Sacramento.
Yeah.
When he did. You know.
But you know what? There's room on the bandwagon. We welcome all people who want to join it. That's okay.
Game of Thrones Oreos hit store shelves today. The makers of Oreo getting in on the excitement ahead of the 8th and final season Game of Thrones with this limited edition of Game of Thrones themed cookies. In celebration, Oreo teamed up with HBO, the makers of the show's opening sequence, to create this unique version of the opening. Credits made entirely of Oreos. Snacks feature 4 cookie designs, the house still battling for the Iron Throne and the White Walkers. The Oreo Game of Thrones cookies are available for a limited time while supplies last. Season 8 of the hit show premieres April 14th, which I'm jacked about. I like that show. I like that show. That show had more guts than any other show on television, I thought. The first season pulled me in because I thought, I'm into that kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, I'll watch it. I'll give it a chance. Don't know if I like it. And then here's if you hadn't watched, spoiler alert, but the lead character, which is Ned Starks, they walk him to the execution. They go, you chop his head. I go, how's he going to get out of this? Because he's the main guy. And he's the only famous guy there. And I'm thinking, boy, how's he going to get rescued?
Yeah.
Chop. Done. Killed him. Imagine watching Andy Griffith. And Andy gets shot and killed. And Barney's like, what's going on? That was the
It didn't happen. It didn't happen. Andy's okay.
No, Andy's fine. But that's what I'm telling you. Can you imagine the impact that would have? That's what Game of Thrones does. They make you fall in love with somebody and they kill them. It's crazy.
What about Aunt B? Would she make it through?
Aunt B would be a villain. Aunt B would be Cersei. Yeah.
What about the pie? No apple pie?
I don't know what they would
Maybe.
have there. Yeah, that's crazy. Those are today's hot topics. All right, you can hop on down to the Bunny Trail to Eckert's and Versailles for a day of Easter activities on the farm, including an egg hunt, face painting, and a visit from the Easter Bunny.
They're giving away this awesome gift box packed with all kinds of goodies, including lots of good stuff, and 2 tickets for free admission.
Just send a message to the Live with Lee and Hayley Facebook page or an email to lwlh@lex18.com. We need your name, your number, and your address so we can get a hold of you if you do win. And we'll announce the winner at the end of the show. Good luck.
And coming up next, the colors go flying at Color Chaos in Lexington.
Yeah, it's getting messy. Between me and Hayley, we blew the place up. Details straight ahead.